Hello, boys and girls. This is what we're going to learn to draw today. A fox with a landscape. A landscape means the study of the land. So we are going to be drawing our fox sitting on the grass with some trees in the background and some wind swirling around. So to get started, I'm going to take a piece of white drawing paper. I have this great book that I have. That's my nice drawing pad that I keep all my little drawing ideas in. And I ripped out my paper from there, and I'm going to hold it landscape. You should be using a white piece of paper. If you have drawing paper, that is awesome. If not, you can use copy paper. I'm going to just be drawing with my Sharpie marker today, but you are going to be drawing with pencil lightly so that you can barely see it. And that reason is so that if you make a mistake, it is easy for you to erase, okay? My art teacher taught me that you don't want anybody to see your mistakes. So if you practice and you draw very lightly with your pencil and then you go to erase, nobody will see that you had some mistakes. So here we go. First thing that we're going to do is just start with some basic shapes. And when you look at a picture, sometimes it looks a little difficult and you're wondering, how am I ever going to draw that? But I'm going to break it down nice and simple, and you're going to be able to do a beautiful job. All right, here we go. So again, the paper is landscape or horizontal. I want to draw a shape of the, I was going to say the owl because I was so busy with owls last week, the shape of a fox's head, and that's an oval. And I like to do a ghost drawing so that I kind of get an idea. I don't want to make it so big that I don't have room for the background or landscape, and I don't want to make it so teeny tiny so I have to fill up the page. But so you'll figure out what's the best size. If you look here, there you go. All right, so I'm going to start about here. I'm going to make an oval. It's not perfect, but it's fine. Don't worry. I'm going to make the ears. And again, I like to do it a ghost drawing with my hand so I kind of have an idea. Okay, so it's a curved line up to the top to a little point and down. The next thing, I want to start under the ear and go down to the center where the nose is going to be. So I'm going to make the center there. Maybe I'm going to put the nose first. And I like the nose to kind of stick over the edge of his face. And I'm going to do one curved line and another curved line going the other direction. That's going to form his face and his forehead. I'm going to make the cute little eyes. I'm going to then make his body, which is just another curved shape or like a U. And he's a little chubby little fox, and I'm going to make another curved body for the white part of his body. I'm going to make 2 lines for each leg and a little foot. I'm going to color it in now black with my Sharpie marker, but you're going to leave it and you're going to color it in when you're coloring your whole design. And I'm going to do his little feet in the back. And he's big and fluffy, so you don't really get to see the back part of his leg. It's kind of hidden behind his body. Next thing is going to be his tail. They have a big fluffy tail. Okay. They also have little tips on their ears that are black. He has little whiskers. And I'm going to make like a little highlight in his eye, which means that you could see that the light is kind of shining and it's kind of putting a little reflection in his eye. And our little fox is done. Next thing I'm going to do is the land, and I'm going to draw so he's sitting on the land, not that the land is underneath him and he's floating in air. So I'm going to make, okay, I want to make a tree in the background, and I want to make a nice tall tree. So I love drawing trees. When I was young, I had a nice art teacher who taught me how to draw trees, and they're one of my favorite things to draw. They start wider at the bottom and they taper off and go nice and high and thin, okay? So if you want, you can take a peek at some trees out in your backyard or in your neighborhood. Okay, I'm also gonna put a little bit of texture going down the bark of the tree so that looks realistic. And I'm gonna make, kind of like I make clouds, but I'm gonna make that the tree has some big full leaves, but they are falling, so we're going to do that in a few seconds. I'll put another tree in the background here. I like to start off kind of like a Y shape for my trees and then branch off from there. So branches grow reaching up to the sky and to the sun. And some people like to make their trees that look very straight, and a tree really doesn't look like that. Trees are more graceful and they have a little bit more organic shapes and curves to them. So don't try to make your tree perfectly straight like that, because that's not really how they grow. They grow more like this. Okay, here we go. Let's finish up. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of lines, texture for the bark of the tree. And again, I'm going to make some little fluffy part for the leaves of my tree. I'm going to make some leaves that look like they're falling, and I'm going to put a little bit of movement with some dots. So these leaves are going to be all different types, and they're going to be floating in different directions. Okay, so maybe one is going to be up here and one is going to be over. Yours is going to be placed differently depending on how big that you made your owl. Keep saying owl, your fox. Okay, and to show a little bit of movement, I'm going to just make these little dotted lines so you know that they've been falling. I think it kind of makes movement, makes it look kind of interesting. Maybe there's a few leaves. Well, I know in my yard there's a lot of leaves on the ground. And I might kind of do this so it looks kind of like it's a windy day and the leaves are blowing. I don't want to forget to sign my name when I'm done. And I think I am ready to color. So there you go. There is a fox in a landscape. This is the foreground. The midground would be in the background. He's in the foreground. And your background here would be your trees and your leaves. So background, the foreground, and the middle ground. We don't really see too much on this one because we're filling it up with the leaves. So there you go. Fox in a landscape. You're going to color it and you're going to have fun doing it. So have a great day.